You got to 9 seconds.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll start.
I was just
okay.
thinking of how Josh just like, he went like
I think we'll be fine. He's always like, he's like, I gotta go be in my creepy corner.
And he still can't shut up over there.
He's over there just being like, God, what a unprofessional dick.
Yeah, we let Josh go.
Yeah. we did the one movie graveyard, one missed call, and now Josh calls us, and he's our one missed call. I can't wait to strangle his kitty for no reason. That sounded inappropriate. Do you want to introduce this?
Yeah, so if you're not aware yet, this is the side podcast, the movie graveyard, where we talk about shitty movies that we have just seen. At the end of the last episode, we said we were going to watch The Gallows, but Josh isn't here. So we wanted to see The Gallows with Josh, so we had to watch a different movie. What happened was... Wait, I haven't even fucking introduced myself. Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm one of the hosts of this podcast.
Hi, I'm Blake. I'm the other host, and this is a duo podcast with just me and Patrick. There is nobody else. Because one of you's in LA and the other one of you is stupid, and I don't know which one of you is who. You figure it out.
Anyway,
and we have no guest stars right now.
Yeah, we don't have any guests, unless you want to count the open door as a guest. Like, somebody could walk by and just start, like, slapping off. Oh, shit! It's Josh!
Do you want to say what movie we watched, or do you want to say the movie that we tried to watch first?
Yeah, let's go in order of
what happened. The order of events, because there's also the time where Netflix crashed. So the first movie we tried to watch is Ryan, a long time ago, purchased one of those compilation collection DVD sets that includes... What does it say on it? Because it doesn't actually...
It says 9 movies, but it only has 5.
Only has 5. And so we were looking at that, and we're like, all right, we're going to pick one from here. So the movie we're going to watch is called The Cry, which I'm not even going to look that up. I don't know what year that came out, but that was like probably early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't know. The kid, or one of the kids that disappeared, it kind of looked like he was wearing 90s clothes. He had like those sandals on.
Oh, okay. So maybe like
little 90s
late 90s.
Sandals.
So the movie is something that has to do with La Llorona, and it what?
I looked up The Cry, and it brought up Crystal the monkey.
I wish he was in the movie, but the Cry opens up in way in the past, right? Like 400 BC.
It was really far in the past.
And it opens up with like shots of the jungle, and you hear a kid screaming, and it cuts to a kid's face, and it cuts to the river, and it's implied that this kid is being drowned or has been drowned. And then it cuts to modern day New York, where a woman is fiercely drawing a picture of a child, and it cuts to scenes of that child playing near the water with his mom, and then that kid drops his ball in the water, and then there's like whispering behind him, and then it goes negative and goes
yeah, just like flashes negative frames at random.
And then it cuts to a depressed cop in bed who I think it's implied that he's the dad of that kid, because he had a picture of a kid, but I think all the kids kind of look the same, so I couldn't tell them apart. And then he wakes up and he's having a super depressed morning, and then in a very weird sequence of events, it cuts to him driving a car, cuts to a man standing near a building, cuts to the woman walking around town looking at all these missing kid posters, and cuts back between like these 3 characters and these 3 shots multiple times for no reason. And then it cuts to the guy driving his car, picks up the guy who's standing by the wall, who's like, dude, your car's a mess, get in. He's like, all right, I'm in. And they start driving, and he doesn't pay attention. It's a red light, and he almost kills the woman who was drawing earlier, and she has a child who's way too old to be in a stroller. He almost hits them. Then she stops, and she gets over, and you find out the kid has asthma. And then the cops drive away, and she goes somewhere, but then it's the cops, and the cops are walking around, and they see another kid in a stroller, and he keeps looking at all these kids in strollers because his kid is dead. And then it cuts to the part where she's at her house and the phone rang, and I'm assuming her mother was the one on the phone. We couldn't hear it, and there was no subtitles. And then she looks on the TV and she sees the two cops, and at this point, me and Patrick just start fast forwarding through the movie. And then we're both like, do we even want to watch this? So,
it was too bad for the movie Graveyard. We're sorry.
It was incredibly boring. We had and also looked like shit.
Yeah.
So we stopped that. We only made it 10 minutes. Then we fast forwarded to about 9 more minutes. Then we just left the movie. And then we went to Netflix, and it was brought up that there was a new movie called Under Paris, which is what this episode is going to be about. And then we got 2 minutes in Under Paris, and Netflix crashed. And then it started playing for a minute, and then it exited out of Netflix and exited out of every streaming service I had. So we restarted my streaming box. Then we restarted Under Paris. Patrick, would you like to tell the premise of that movie?
Yeah, so they're under Paris. So the beginning of the movie, they're like out in the middle of the ocean, and it's covered in trash, and they're like tracking a shark, and they're like, oh, she's coming, she's on her way. So 4 dudes jump into the water. For some reason, they want to take a sample of her. So 4 entire people jump into the water before the shark is even there, and they start like investigating this baby sperm whale that was like caught in a net.
And they have to swim like it looked like a block from
they swam a ways from the boat.
Yeah.
To find this baby sperm whale, which had nothing to do with the movie except for the fact that there was a bite taken out of it. But then the shark shows up and kicks their asses.
No, the first sharks show up. Remember 7 sharks showed up, and they're like, so many sharks.
Oh,
and then they're like, oh, they're all females.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Lilith shows up.
Lilith, the giant fucking shark, shows up, kills them all, and then for some reason, after they're literally all dead, one of the women that was back on the boat decides to jump into the water because she, for the life of her, needs to fucking take a sample of this murder shark.
Also, her husband's one of the men.
Yeah, and
they're all friends.
She finds his hand with a ring on it. It's like, no,
I'm divorced.
Consider this a divorce.
You know how some people take their rings off and give them back? He's like, take
my
whole arm
off. He was in cahoots with Lilith. So
I need you to bite my arm off so she thinks I'm divorcing her.
Yeah, and then he married the shark later in the movie.
Hell yeah. And they had babies. He's the way that's how she got pregnant.
Oh my god, he was part rabbit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where was I? Oh yeah, so all of her friends are dead. She jumps in the water. She wants to sample the shark, but the shark samples her by somehow getting a net stuck on itself. And then it also gets stuck on her, and then it like fucking goes at the speed of light straight down. She starts bleeding from all of her holes. Yeah.
Her ears like explode.
Yeah. And the way it's moving so fast, it's like, damn, she's so far down, she's gonna drown. But then she gets herself free, and she's just like, what, like 10 meters from the surface?
Yeah, well, because it starts getting dark. It's like pitch black as she's going down further and further into the ocean. And then when she breaks free from the net, she just swims like maybe 10 feet. And she's like, oh, I'm at the surface.
But then when she surfaced, it went in slow motion, and she herself looked like a fucking shark.
Yeah, she had blood coming out of her mouth, out of her ears, and she's like, and then goes, Under Paris.
Yeah, Under Paris. And then the movie is in Paris for the rest of the fucking movie. And it's also a French movie, but it's dubbed in English.
Yeah. But, so the premise then of the movie, because you didn't actually explain the premise.
Well, because that was part of the premise.
So the premise then is now they're in Paris, and this woman 3 years later is depressed, and she's working at an aquarium, and some hippie animal activist is like, hey, you know that shark from 3 years ago? We're tracking it still, and it's here in Paris. And somehow they've been tracking it for quite some time, or it just showed up in Paris. But now this shark is in Paris, and they're like, that makes no sense. It's freshwater. And then Oh, and then she meets the other hippie squad members.
Hippie squad.
And hippie squad is like, hey, later tonight we're gonna go investigate this crime scene because a guy in his car drove off the bridge, but they never found the body. So during the night, the main character shows up with a scanner that's tracking the shark, and the hippie squad, lesbian couple, Ben and oh shit, what's that girl's name? It's Ben and Mickey?
I don't know.
We'll call him Mickey. So Ben and Mickey go to the crime scene. Mickey jumps in and she finds a car that has like a chomp mark in it. And then the shark starts making weird dinosaur noises and like stalking her. And there's one part where you see like the shadow, you can't really tell what it is, and then it zooms off screen.
Yeah.
Because the shark just moves at light speed sometimes. Then the cops show up. Ben ran away. Mickey gets arrested. The main character, Sophia, is still looking at the scanner, and she's like, "Oh my god, my shark's here!" And then they go. Jail stuff happens. Oh, and then the homeless people. So before the jail stuff happens, they're like, "Oh hey, we're taking you to the jail, but we gotta go past and talk to these hobo guys and give them new clothes." And the hobo guy has a dog. And then they're like, "Okay, we're going to the prison now." So they go to the prison, and main character of Scanner shows up. All the homeless people are gone, except the dog is barking at the water, and you see a book that one of the homeless men had floating in the water, and we cannot figure out how all the homeless people died. They were not in the water. The place where they are maybe 6 feet above the water. Yeah, there's a ramp that goes up, but did the shark fly out of the water? I assumed it's communal bath time, and they all had to get in the water to clean their...
I like to think that the shark was singing a siren song and lured them in. Exactly, it's like rubbing its little shark nips.
And the hobo was like, "Damn, I never been with a shark before."
They're licking their lips.
Yeah. Then the hobos die. Some stupid shit happens. Next morning, they find 1/3 of the hobo king.
Did you call him the hobo king?
Well, the guy who was like the hobo leader.
Yeah.
The one that they talked to. And then they try to convince people that there's a shark in the water, and at the same time, a triathlon is going to be happening in a few days. So that's the whole premise, is they're trying to stop the shark from the triathlon thing. And then, what am I missing? What am I forgetting?
You're missing that the mayor is being the exact same as the mayor
That's
from
right.
Jaws.
Yeah, being the exact same, because she's like, "No, we spent so much money, $1.7 million on this triathlon thing."
But it's French dollars, so I don't know how to...
It's like $7. No, wait. I think Europe is more expensive. Because when I went to Germany, the money was more expensive. Like, every dollar we had is like $1. I think it's... Shit, how did that break down? I think to have $1 there in Germany, I had to give them like $1.7.
Yeah, it's like a dollar and something cents for like €1.
Yeah. So then like all the cops team up, and then at the same time the activists, hippies give out this huge statement of like, stop overfishing, and then the activists, hippies think that they can communicate with the shark using sonar and try to help her get back to the ocean. So then the hippie activists go to the catacombs.
No, they don't go to the catacombs yet. That's like, I guess, above the catacombs.
Yeah. And then...
But it's the hippie cave.
Yeah, they go to hippie cave, completely dry. All of them are dry. And somehow they walked into this thing that I couldn't see another exit except for the water tunnel, but they all seemed dry. And the cops show up and do like, "Ah, we got you, hippies," and they were gonna bust them. And hippie king Mickey is in the water with this sonar ball, and then the cops show up, and then they're like, "Oh shit, the shark's coming." So big shark shows up with baby shark, and then Mickey starts like petting baby shark.
Yeah, she's like holding on to it, and for some reason the baby shark is just like doing nothing about it.
Yeah, it's just like, "Yeah, pet me." And then they're like, "Oh my god, Mickey, get out of the water, get out of the water, oh my god, Mickey." And then the cops are like, "You guys gotta get out of here." Nobody's moving.
Yeah, and the mom shark goes ape shit, bites its own baby, and then does this weird ass move where it comes straight below Mickey.
No,
and just,
it
like,
kills Mickey first.
Oh, it does that and then
Yeah.
bites its baby?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the order.
Yeah, it does
honestly.
that classic thing where it does like a top-down shot and the body gets closer to the camera as the shark comes out of the water eating it.
Yeah.
But also, handsome cop jumped in, tried to save her. I don't know what his plan was, to fist fight the shark. And then the shark kills her own baby, and then when the shark jumped out of the water to eat Mickey, apparently 500 gallons of water went flying around the room, splashing all the walkable surfaces, causing people to fall in the water.
But that doesn't make any sense because it wasn't like tilted
It
down.
wasn't.
It was
It was
flat.
a platform. It's probably wider than my table, and people just got hit with water and immediately fell into the water. Then people started panicking, pushed each other in the water. Everyone's freaking out. People are getting trampled.
More babies showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, a couple babies showed up, and now they're swimming around this fucking hippie den, eating all these people. People are drowning each other, trying to escape, and then Ben is like, I'm in the water too, and she can't get out, and then she got kneed in the head and drowned. And one of the cops was like, no, because apparently they had something. They had some sort of connection, because he was really upset Ben died.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the really bad CGI made it look like sharks were coming out of the walls, like stone walls. Like sharks was like, ah, that just came out.
And it happens twice to the same person.
The same guy. This poor one of the cops named Leo was like, I'm in the water, I'm helping people, and then a shark came out of the wall, got him, then he swam back up, he's like, I'm missing an arm, but I'm okay, and then a shark came out of the wall again, and he's like, no, that time was real. And then people were trying to run out, and basically the way I can picture it is American Werewolf goes to Paris. Paris! It all happens in Paris.
Oh, shit.
Because in American Werewolf in Paris, there's a part where they're trying to leave the raid, and the door's locked, so all the werewolves just basically pin them against the door and eat them all. So then they leave, 12 people died, and like 100 were wounded, and then Super Cop Squad, they go back there, and they find the dead baby, and they take it to a lab, because we're like, oh, it's still alive, and then it immediately cuts to the baby out of water on a lab thing.
Dead.
Clearly dead. And they're like, oh my god, it's only 2 months old. But then they cut it open, and there's like living babies inside of it. So it's like, wait a minute, somehow it's aging so fast and mature that it can have babies after 2 months. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening? And then this time they're trying to talk to the mayor of like, hey, people are dying, you gotta close it down, right? Did they talk to the mayor again?
Yeah, they talked to the mayor
Okay,
again.
and the mayor's like, fuck off.
Yes.
I don't care about hippies. And the cop's like, God damn it, mayor, you son of a bitch. And then they see on the tracker that the shark is like underneath the roads and stuff. And they're like, oh, there's catacombs down there. I totally forgot about the part earlier where
What?
the three cops are going towards that wall with the grate.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so these three cops are under the water looking for this supposed shark because they don't believe the shark's there. And these three cops are underwater walking towards a wall that has a grate in it. And you see something swim behind the grate and you're like, oh, that must be the shark. But the real shark's behind them. That's one of its babies. And Ben turns off the tracker because like, no, if they find her, because Mickey's like, if they find her, they're going to kill her. So you got to turn off the tracker. And then the shark yells at them or goes...
Yeah, it does this weird monster alien shark sound.
What does it? The sharks don't make noise. They just... Nobody can see what I'm doing, but it's just a hand floating. Okay, now cut back to where we were in the story. So they try to talk to the mayor. The mayor's like, we're giving the security detail to military. Go fuck yourselves. Cops are stupid. And it's like, whoa, mayor, that's harsh. Well, can you use both? Like, also, what's the military gonna do? So then, then the triathlon starts. And
no, that's they see that the shark is in the catacombs.
Yes.
So then they go to the catacombs,
and they have a plan to blow it up.
Yeah, they're gonna blow it up with these like little things that apparently do a giant fucking explosion.
Yes.
But then that's where they do the one scene that's in the shark movies that we love, where they like light up the flares and they look up and there's like hundreds of baby sharks like swimming above them.
Well, like toddler sharks, because not babies, but they weren't full grown.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like hundreds of these little sharks, and of course Mama's not there, and they have this sonar trap trying to call her in. And then
the babies start swarming them one at a time.
Yeah, and it eats the one guy who was like, I'll detonate the bomb. He gets eaten. And then the other guy's like, I'll do it. And then he gets eaten after he detonates it, though. Right? Or he turns it on.
All I remember is that the last two survivors, the two main characters, they survive the explosion, even though from the outside, like, part of a wall just gets destroyed by a huge fucking explosion.
But yeah, somehow the two main characters make it out, and outside is their cop buddies. So they let the one cop get on the boat, and then the woman cop, no, not the woman cop, the main character, Sophia, is like, I'm gonna swim back and make sure it's dead somehow.
Something like that.
So she goes underwater and swims towards where they came from, and then the shark mama bursts through the wall. And then... And then the shark swims towards the boat that has the cop trio on it, and it does the same thing where it swims up from underneath and knocks him into the air in really, really bad CGI stupid shot. But then the shark goes like perpendicular with the boat, so you just
it goes like
see it
sideways when it comes out of the
and
water.
It looks so fucking stupid. So then all the cops land in the water. The shark kills the two nameless red shirts.
Yeah.
And then cop handsome man and main character Sophia get onto the flipped over boat, and I made the joke that she's just gonna flip it over again and kill you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
But then at this time the triathlon has begun and people are swimming in the water, and Lilith now has seen
the shark can't have other people swimming in the water.
Yeah.
The shark's got to eat them. So then it starts swimming towards the people who are swimming in the triathlon, and there's like a net in the way that's being held up by like little buoys.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets caught in the net and it starts dragging the buoys behind it, which is like Jaws.
And then she starts picking off the triathlons one by
but
one.
like the net disappears.
Well, she ate through it. She didn't need it.
Yeah,
wait, what happened to the net? Like, she could have used that to drag them under the water, like how she did the first character.
Making them bleed out of their holes.
Also, that never came up again. The fact that her ears, like, exploded, she could totally hear fine. She wasn't dead.
There was that one point where she had a nosebleed.
Well, good for her.
Yeah,
Nothing happened
that's pretty
with
much
it.
So the people on the flipped over boat see the sharks going to the triathlon, so for some reason they think they can outswim the shark.
Yes.
They start swimming after the shark. That doesn't work, because it starts like, for some reason, it starts like grabbing people and then pulling them back.
Which sharks can't do. They can't swim backwards.
And it just keeps on doing that. Just grabbing people and pulling them back, and I guess eating them in one bite. And it has to do it like at least 5 times before people are like, oh shit, there's a shark in the water.
Yeah. So then, of course, people are screaming and blowing whistles, so everyone swimming stops swimming and sits put, and then they all start getting eaten, and then they all try to swim out of the water, because then the military shows up with their gunboats. And for 2 seconds, I thought they were terrorists. I thought the movie changed because the way that they came in, it looked like the guns were pointing at the mayor and all the innocent people. I was like, "Oh shit, terrorists!" Ready to start shooting everybody. But then
this
they started
is our chance when the shark's attacking. We gotta take over Paris.
So then they start shooting the shit out of the water, and guys with snipers are shooting the water. Guys with pistols are shooting the water. Everyone's shooting the water as the triathlon people are trying to swim out. The main characters get on a boat, and then we forgot to mention. Earlier in the film, people were doing magnet fishing, where you take a giant magnet, and you throw in the water, and you drag the bottom of the water, and you pull out metal stuff. And they pull out these giant shells.
It's like unexploded bombshells.
Unexploded bombshells. And it's revealed that there's apparently 7 million of these things at the bottom of this river. So now while everyone's shooting at the shark starts swimming really fast out of there, going faster than the Flash. And these bombs start flying up into the water and then slowly, just like in Finding Nemo, hit the tip and it gets pushed in. So now explosions are happening and the water's exploding and a whole bunch of these suckers are going off and then the bridges start exploding.
Jesus Christ.
And you know, like in like most of those movies like Batman or like any movie of like certain terrorists where they like blow up all the bridges, we can't let anyone leave this island, or like, you know, like zombie apocalypse movies where they blow up all the bridges.
Yeah.
So now it looks like the shark is cutting them off from the world. They're cutting off Paris. I died. Ugh. And so then all these bombs are going off and water
It starts coming out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere. There's nowhere. There's somehow a giant tidal wave just spawns and starts coming at the two main characters as they stare at it. They just stare at it. They're on a boat. They could turn it on and start going, but they just stare at this water tidal wave, and everyone gets covered and hit with this tidal wave. And then, in the craziest ending scene of any shark movie, the two main characters swim to like some sort of structure because now Paris and all of Europe is flooded.
Well,
maybe it's just
I
Paris.
don't know if it's all of Europe.
It's just Paris, but Paris is now flooded. Paris is completely flooded, and the subway's flooded, the streets are flooded, and these two main characters are on this little structure as all these fins start popping up, and then Mama Fin pops up, and they're just stuck on this structure, and then it starts zooming out, and it becomes like a map, and you see all these little red lines of where the sharks are going, and the final scene after the credits is the world where basically all the water is covered in red because the sharks have now taken over the water and one lake.
Yeah, there's like
Europe.
a lake that seems to not be connected. I mean, maybe there's like rivers or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, but anyways, basically it's the end of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where it shows you how the virus takes over the world and kills people. This one's basically
the sharks have taken over the world now,
and now they're set up for a sequel. I don't know what's gonna be called.
We're gonna have to watch it if there is.
I can't wait. I'm thinking over Paris, in Paris, around Paris, but I don't know what it's trying to say. Because one, me and Patrick then looked up how much water Paris has. They have water reservations or reservoirs.
Well, I don't know if that might just be for the movie, but that wouldn't make any sense because it's 115 feet over sea level. So reservoirs in Paris wouldn't raise the entire sea level that much.
They wouldn't, and also like the water would just there's a river right fucking there. So it's like it's not like the river rose. They don't have enough water to rise the entire river past the 20 feet from river top to where the street was, and then go further above that.
I guess Paris was like secretly holding enough water to
make water
flood
world?
the entire world.
Paris has been attacked by shark terrorists.
That was their contingency in case people attacked them again.
They just push a button, flood the world.
Flood the fucking world!
Blow up the bomb! Blow up the bridges! Release the sharks! So yeah, that is under Paris. That apparently sharks become terrorists, and I believe they're all female sharks because they don't need males to reproduce. They can just reproduce at their own free will.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
So they just keep making babies. So it's just a bunch of babies making babies. So then it's Shark Mama with a shark army in flooded Paris, and I just was not expecting a setup for a sequel. I thought the movie would end with the shark being impaled on the Eiffel Tower.
Just
the way it's meant to.
Okay, so it does swim fast enough to be able to jump that high, I would assume. Because at some points where it's like literally sitting still, all of a sudden within 1 second, it's like going just like
Mach 5.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it just
it can
takes
like
off.
fly out of the water, take down the space station probably.
Patrick, you know what I forgot?
What?
I forgot to mention something about The Cry.
What?
The La Llorona. So the La Llorona movie that we were watching, we didn't. I forgot to mention the part where that one woman is at the park and La Llorona whispers to her.
Oh, yeah.
So then her eyes get really red and she goes home and turns on the bathtub to drown her baby. And then the scene goes on for like 2 minutes where it's just looking at the child's mobile where you hear a baby dying. I don't know what you hear. You hear something, but it's probably just splish splashing noises. And then she comes back in with a dead baby and lays on the bed. I totally forgot about to mention that because I remember how stupid that was. Because it just shows a mobile as it's spinning with stupid birds, and that's when me and Patrick are like, do we want to watch this?
When it shows her walking away from the crib, it does like a weird glitching thing where like
oh my God,
it goes back and she's like next to the crib again walking away from it.
Yeah, she like lagged. But yeah, that was Under Paris. There's gonna be a sequel, and we're gonna watch it, and I just Patrick, what kind of rating would you give that? 1 out of 10.
1? You'd give it a 1?
I'd probably give it like a 3. Because I don't know, there were some parts I was like, the cinematography was okay. There were some parts where I was like kind of enjoying certain things, and it is just a stupid shark movie. But some motherfucker has a review on that saying that it's the best shark movie ever made. The Guardian. Yeah, it said The Guardian. And then do you remember the scores? It was 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, it was, and then it was like 31% for the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's too high. It's too high.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's not that good. And then also, I can't believe the shark somehow weaponized unused bombshells that apparently was, again, I shit you not, maybe 5 million. Because there's that part where it zooms out and you see all the bombs exploding in the river.
It basically blew up all of Paris.
Yeah, again, it's that scene in Dark Knight Rises when they blow up all the bridges and you see all the bridges exploding in order. And it's like, and then we made the same joke that it's basically the end of Batman where they flood Gotham.
Yeah. I do want to bring up, I also looked up, I found The Cry on IMDb. It has 2.7 on IMDb, and Monsters in the Woods has 2.6.
No fucking way.
So Monsters in the Woods is 0.1 less than The Cry. So it's still worse somehow.
Maybe one day we'll finish The Cry. Maybe when Ryan visits, we'll be like, hey man, we're gonna put on, remember that DVD that you left in my house?
Yeah, but if we tell him that, he's never gonna show up.
We wait for him to walk into my house.
Hopefully he doesn't listen to this. No Ryans allowed.
No Ryans allowed. I'm put down the subject. I'll put that as the title. Movie Graveyard, Under Paris, No Ryans allowed, # Shark Terrorists. Because they were. The mama shark was a terrorist. But yeah, I don't know. It was, and then some of the CGI on the shark always just looked really bad because they spent too much CGI doing the exploding bomb scenes. I don't know. And everyone basically died. Like the mayor was underwater. I'm curious to see like if basically this is like somehow going to be like some weird water world, post-apocalyptic world where everything's flooded and it's all these sharks. Or they don't get a sequel and that's the way the movie just ends, is that sharks took over the world.
Who fucking knows? I guess it really depends on how many people actually watch the movie, and then Netflix would be like, we need another one.
You shouldn't have watched it.
Oh, no.
Well, at least we watched it together instead of me watching it on my account and then you watching it separately. Because that would be 2 views.
That's true.
They don't know how many people watched it. They just know that one viewing happened at this household. Shit, now I'm going to be on a list. You know, like when you read certain books, they flag you. I watched a movie promoting shark terrorism.
Yeah, the FBI is going to show up.
Also, I kept making a stupid joke because the handsome cop kept saying, like, it's out of our hands, or it's in our hands now, and I really wanted the main character, Sophia, to just be like, it's out of our fins, and then just stare directly at the camera, just, like, staring, like, huh? Just, like she made a really good pun.
Yeah.
I wanted that to happen every single time.
Dude, we're fucking cooking in here.
We are. It's also hot as fuck. It is, I was hoping my laptop would tell me how hot it is.
Fuck your laptop.
Alright. Fuck the jacuzzi!
Okay, it is currently 81 degrees.
Jesus. Yeah, me and Patrick are cooking. But, I don't think we have anything else we need to say about this movie, do we? It's a 33-minute episode. That's pretty good.
I never gave my rating. I think I'd give it like a 3.5.
What?
Well, because the Monsters in the Woods and The Cry
are
going to be below
you
it.
gave it a rating, though. You said 1.
No, you said 1, you idiot.
I said 3.
You said 1.
I said 3.
You said 1 out of 10.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said give it a rating 1 out of 10.
I didn't say anything. I never gave it a rating.
Hold on, guys. This is going to take 1 second.
Giving it a 1.
Alright, so we just re-listened to the episode. We actually went back. What I had said was, Patrick, what rating would you give this? 1 out of 10. And Patrick thought that was me saying I'm giving it a 1. But then, a couple seconds later, I said 3.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
Fuck you. Okay, so what rating do you give this?
3.5.
Oh, I give it a 3. Okay, so the average rating of this movie is fucking 3.25.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right for that movie. It wasn't complete heart garbage. We actually finished it, unlike The Cry. Well, any final thoughts? Josh, I can't wait to have you back doing an episode because we're going to watch The fucking Gallows. And then we have to watch The Gallows 2.
If Josh doesn't show up next time, what the fuck are we gonna watch?
We can watch The Apparition.
Oh, yeah. Thank God you didn't say The Cry.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone listening to this, next episode, if Josh is here, it's gonna be The Gallows. If Josh isn't here, it'll be The Apparition. If we don't stay true to our word, we will fucking skin Ryan alive and make him into a skin coat.
We're gonna skin coat him, and we're each gonna have a Ryan skin coat.
Yeah, I want the back half. You can have the front. You can have the, like we cut him in half, like in 13 Ghosts. So I can. So when you look at me from the back, I'll be Ryan.
If you look at me from the front,
You'll be Ryan. We'll be like we'll be like two guys dressed as like a horse.
Oh wait, yes, that means you have to walk behind me, and we're Ryan.
And we can be one Ryan.
Anyway, guys, that was the episode. Stay tuned for either The Gallows or The Apparition. I don't fucking know.
Check out the description below for links to the Patreons, to like Josh's shit and all that stuff. And of course, like, I never mentioned this in the episodes, but the music that we use for like the intros and stuff, there are links for that in the description too. So check out that YouTube channel who creates that music. But yeah, stay tuned for whatever episode we do next. You know, we mentioned this in the last episode, but the reason we're kind of doing this is because since Ryan's in LA, and then he has plans to move to New Jersey. So we don't know when he'll. Did you just burp? What was that noise? What the fuck just happened?
Oh, I was gonna say that he was planning on moving to New York for a little bit first, and then to New Jersey.
Well, New Jersey. No, he was gonna stay at like Syracuse and then move to New Jersey around August. Don't make that face at me.
Huh?
So yeah, we're kind of messing around with like a couple different podcast ideas that we can do while still continuing the channel, but not, you know, excluding Ryan. So Movie Graveyard will be continuing, and that's basically if like whoever can make it. So like it'll most likely always be me and Patrick, but hopefully we'll do a lot of episodes of Josh, and then most likely we'll end up having some special guests. We have a couple friends lined up that we want to get.
Extra special.
That's Chris
Pacco. We need to like put pillows on the couch so he doesn't hurt his head.
Yeah.
Make sure to like hang a helmet next to the door so we can put it on when he comes in.
And then we have to wear bulletproof vests because he has a gun.
Yeah, he likes to pull out his gun and say, "Hey, check this out!" and just start shooting us in the chest.
I'm like, "Oh no, please!"
Yeah, last time we almost did not survive.
Yeah, we don't talk about that because that's how we lost the original fourth member.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Petey.
Not Petey. So stay tuned for more.
Wait, who's the original fourth member?
Petey. But I said, oh no, not Petey. Not like, you know, I'm sad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Rest in peace. You keep
rest in Petey.
Yeah, you keep his ashes on the wall like in a frame.
No, I keep his skin. Because yeah, you can have the front half. And I have the back half.
If you guys think you see Petey walking around, it's actually us wearing his skin. Don't worry about it.
Can we end this thing?
Yeah, I've been waiting for you to end it.
Alright, that's the end. Stay tuned for more.
Bye.
Watch movies, enjoy your life, and don't forget to pleasure your wife.
What the fuck?